Hey, bye, how you? Thanks for joining me for episode 39 of Build Your House Yourself University. I'm Michelle Nelson, your host and fellow student, and together we'll learn the basics of residential design and construction and demystify the building process so you can become an educated consumer and build your dream home with or without a general contractor. A couple of weeks ago, I was interviewed by someone who was writing an article for Realtor.com. She wanted me to talk about what I call practical luxury. What I mean by practical luxury is something that's an indulgence, not a necessity, but that you and your family will actually use on a pretty regular basis. Gone are the days when average homeowners are adding luxurious features to their homes simply for bragging rights or to keep up with the Joneses. This week, we'll talk about 2 practical indulgences for your master bathroom that, for most people, are totally worth the splurge. We'll cover radiant heated floors and bidet toilet seats. These features will not only make your bathroom more luxurious, but they'll add value to your home and make it stand out among other homes on the market if you ever decide to sell. Practical luxury is a current trend that I believe will continue to be important in new homes for many years to come. Before we get to the mini lesson, let me briefly tell you about thinset, our pro term this week. Thinset is an adhesive bonding material that's a blend of cement, very fine sand, and a hydrating water retention compound. Thinset is used to set tile. Tile set in this method is attached to its surface with a very thin layer of thinset. This type of mortar is designed to adhere well with just a thin layer, usually measuring 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch thick. Thinset is also called thinset cement, thinset mortar, dry set mortar, and dry bond mortar. All right, moving on to some practical luxury for your master bathroom that's totally worth the splurge. Let's start by talking about heated floors. Most people say that once you've tried heated floors in your bathroom, you'll never go back. Radiant heated floors definitely fall into the category of practical luxury. People use them every day, even in the summer. Granted, you'll probably turn the temperature of the floors down in the summer, but many people use the heated bathroom floors all year long. I live in a hot, humid climate, and I've noticed even in the summer, when I don't have my bathroom rugs down because they're in the wash, the cold tile is a little uncomfortable. Maybe that's because my feet are always cold. Cold feet on cold tile, that's not a good combination. But even in the summer, I think most people prefer to walk on bathroom rugs rather than the cold bathroom tile. So think how nice it would be to have a slightly warm, comfortable floor first thing in the morning. Radiant heat is similar to the heat you feel when you stand by a window on a sunny winter day. The sun warms your face without needing to warm the air around you. There are 2 main types of radiant floor heating: hydronic systems and electric radiant heat. Hydronic systems use polyethylene tubing buried beneath the floor. That tubing is filled with hot water to create the heat. Water is heated between 100 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit by a boiler. A boiler system is needed for heating the water in the tubes. A boiler is a combination heating system and water heater. Hot water from the boiler system enters the tubing, and from there, the tubes heat the flooring above them. Then the flooring radiates heat to the room, producing warmth. Hydronic systems are usually used when you want your entire house to be heated by in-floor radiant heat. Most people won't be using radiant heat for their entire house. So to get heated master bathroom floors, electric radiant heat is the better choice. The electric in-floor radiant heat system is the way to go in a smaller space because it's more cost-effective for a single room installation and it's less complicated to install. Think of your electric radiant heat system as a supplemental heat source, mainly there to keep your toes warm. Electric systems are typically not meant to be the only heat source for a room. Installation requires an electrician and a tile installer, although some do-it-yourselfers might want to try their hand at installation. Here's how the system works. Thin electric cables are often pre-attached to flexible mats. These mats are installed over the subfloor in a bed of thin-set mortar. Then that's covered with the finished flooring. Ceramic, porcelain, and stone tile are the most popular flooring choices to go over heated floors. You can also choose laminate and floating engineered hardwood or floating solid hardwood. Just look for specialized radiant heating mats made for floating floors. But realize that wood doesn't respond as quickly to temperature changes as tile does, so laminate and wood floors can be used, but ceramic, porcelain, and stone tile floors are a better choice for heated floors. To provide the electrical current, most bathroom heated floor systems need a dedicated 20-amp circuit, a GFCI protected circuit. GFCI stands for Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. It's the kind of outlet you most often see in bathrooms. It has those two buttons in the center. Sometimes one of the buttons is red. They're the type of outlets that shut off the electric current when it detects the current is flowing along an unintended path, like through water or through a person. You may have experienced this type of outlet shutting off when you've used your blow dryer for too long. Most electric in-floor heating systems come with a programmable thermostat, and some come with a timer so that you can have warm floors waiting for you when you wake up in the morning and have them shut off when you leave for work. Heating systems also have features that prevent the floor from overheating. Radiant heat can also be used in wet areas. Sometimes people add in-floor heat to their shower floor or to a shower bench. But you have to make sure that the system you're using has cables that are rated for wet installation. If you have trouble finding the appropriate cables, check with your local electrical supply house. The price for electric radiant heat varies from $5 to $15 per square foot installed. The other practical luxury that we'll talk about today is electronic toilet seat bidets. Just in case you don't know, a bidet is a plumbing fixture that uses a water spray to clean your bottom after you go to the bathroom. Number 2, I've heard that once you've used one, like heated floors, you won't want to go without them. We're not talking about old school bidets that are a separate feature from the toilet, the thing that looks like a short water fountain. Instead, newer electronic bidets are integrated into the toilet seat. Take a look at the show notes if you've never seen one. The plumbing manufacturer, Toto, spelled T-O-T-O, has sold 40 million bidet attachments worldwide. They call their bidets washlets. They introduced the first model in Asia in 1980 and brought the bidet to the U.S. in 1990. In Japan, 76% of households have a washlet. Toilet seat bidets are widely used in Asia. They're also used in the Middle East, and they're now replacing some old school bidets in Europe. One reason bidet toilet seats became so popular in Asia is that toilet paper was not readily available. And even when it was available, the toilet paper quality wasn't very good. Americans have been slow to warm to the idea of a bidet, but they're becoming more and more popular in the U.S. Here's why. Jerry Bower, the marketing manager for toilet seats of Kohler, says, and I quote, "You don't try to clean the rest of your body with a dry towel, right? Say you're covered with mud," he says. "Will you clean yourself up with a bunch of paper? No. Obviously, you'll take a shower." It comes down to the same thing with this. Here in the United States, we've used dry toilet paper to clean ourselves, and it doesn't always do the job effectively. Cleaning with water is kind of like taking a shower. It's just, cleaner, end quote. If you look at bidet toilet seat reviews on Amazon, you'll see many 5-star reviews. People seem to love these things. One comment I read about bidets in my research said, "Next to my smartphone, they've become my favorite can't do without technology." The bidet seats range in price from about $250 to more than $1,700. The basic features of a bidet toilet seat are a seat warmer and a cleaning wand that washes your bottom with warm water. Some of the extras include a blower for drying your bottom, a deodorizer feature, and variable water temperature and pressure settings. These bidets are fairly easy to install, but you'll need a nearby electrical outlet. So if you're considering an electronic toilet seat bidet for some of your toilets, make sure your electrician installs an outlet near those toilets. If you're hesitant to invest in a bidet toilet seat without having tried one, I'm with you. But here's what we can do. If you have a Toto or a Kohler showroom in your city, or you can visit one when you're on vacation, call the showroom and see if you can stop by and give the bidet a try. You don't actually have to go to the bathroom while you're in the showroom. You can just try the wash and dry features out. Another option is to order from bidet.org. Their website says, and I'm quoting, "We stand behind our products, and we mean it. Bidet.org is the only bidet company in the world to offer a 30-day satisfaction guarantee on all products. We're so confident that you'll fall in love with your bidet, we just know you'll want to keep it." End quote. They say if you order a bidet and don't like it, if you ship it back to them, they'll refund the purchase price. They don't sell Toto or Kohler bidets, but they do have several brands that have been highly rated on Amazon, like Brondell. Whether you decide for or against practical luxuries is a matter of personal preference. But many homeowners who've experienced heated floors and toilet seat bidets say they will never build another house without these indulgences. Well, we've come to the end of another episode. Before we move to your quiz, I want to thank everyone who left a rating or review last week. Shout out to Smart Builder and Future Self Builder. I appreciate you. As you know by you, I have a goal of getting 100 5-star ratings by January 7th, my birthday. I need about 7 people per week to help me meet my goal. If this podcast has been helpful for you, you can help me and the show in return by giving a quick rating and review. Those reviews let iTunes, Stitcher, and those who are new to the show know that this podcast has some value. Just search BYHYU, ByHiU, select the show, then tap the Reviews tab. Then you'll see the option to write a review. Thank you in advance for helping me reach my goal and for giving me a really good birthday present. All right, let's do a couple of quiz questions. True or false? A hydronic radiant heat system, which uses tubing filled with hot water, is best for whole house heating, and an electric radiant heat system, which uses electric cables attached to a flexible mat, is best for a smaller area like a master bathroom. The answer is true. Question number 2, true or false? You'll need a nearby electrical outlet if you want to install a toilet seat bidet. The answer? This one is also true. So you'll need an electrician to install an outlet near every toilet that you plan to put a toilet seat bidet on. Please remember that the purpose of this podcast is simply to educate and inform. It's not a substitute for professional advice. The information that you hear is based only on the opinions, research, and experiences of my guests and myself. That information might be incomplete and is subject to change, so it may not apply to your project. In addition, building codes and requirements vary from region to region, so always consult a professional about specific recommendations for your home. Thank you for joining me today. Come back next week for another episode of Build Your House Yourself University by You.